Hey guys, what's poppin'? Defender Dan here, coming back to you from Rise of Civilizations. Today we got something pretty exciting going on. Uh, One thing about the game is that there's these things called sanctums and altars, and our server has actually just unlocked the sanctums to be open, which give you different bonuses for the alliance that controls it. So as you can see here, our alliance Madram is getting ready to take over this one. So this is actually a recap of the battle. This whole thing, like I'll mention later on, it's going to take about 3 hours. And I know you guys don't want to sit here for 3 hours just waiting. Being fairly new to the game, you know, I was expecting this to take maybe 10 to 15 minutes of fighting. But turns out one of the rules regarding sanctums and altars is that once you have taken possession of it, you actually have to defend it for 3 hours. And once that 3 hour mark hits 0, that countdown, that's when whatever alliance is holding it at the time will gain a protection status for it, so nobody else can attack. I'll admit, it's a lot longer than I thought it would be, but it was also really fun the whole time. Now, we have a bunch of our guys surrounding the altar at this point, and we have a bunch more just to the north at our alliance leader's base where he'd teleported to, just so that way we could form up a rally. The sanctum is protected by barbarians at this point. It looks like we have just over 330,000 in there that are going to be defending against us as we try to take them out and take control of the sanctum. While we were rallying up, it looks like Zai is already starting to make a move on the sanctum, and I'm glad that we got some guys down there to defend it because our rally still hasn't even moved yet. Our rallies started moving in, and Zai is taking out quite a bit on this this sanctum. So while we were in our voice chat, my boy Damn Coke, he was just like, you know what, forget this, I'm going in. He runs in, and this is what happens. So the rest of our boys end up backing him up, everyone that's already down there, and we managed to sneak in and get that final hit on that sanctum and take it right out from underneath Zai. Right when they'd done all this damage to it and all this hard work and lost all these troops, we snuck right in. It's kind of interesting to me that, like, you know, it makes sense why they would try to make a move on it and why they want it, but comparing alliances, at this point we were about 6 times their size, so you know, it's gonna be a rough life if they try to take us on and break the peace that we've had with them, but it's gonna be a good time at the same time. So like I said, you know, once you take the sanctum, you then have to defend it for 3 hours from anyone else trying to get it. So all of our rally and everyone that was down there just threw in their troops to help defend it in case, you know, Zai does come back. We managed to defend against the first rally that they did, but they managed to get all of their troops healed up back inside and rally us again before we could heal up everyone. As you can see, they did some guerrilla warfare, which was pretty smart on them. They damaged a lot of our troops before we could even get them into the Sanctum for protection. And ultimately, they did take over the Sanctum. But we did manage to rally them and take all of them out and take the Sanctum back. Now, I wasn't able to get all 3 hours worth of defending. Truthfully, it was about 3 hours and 30 minutes because we lost it that first time. They had it for about 10-15 minutes before we were able to take it back from them. So, I didn't get all the film I wanted, but we did manage to take the Sanctum back from them, and they put up a really strong fight. One of the turning points in the fight, I actually wasn't inside the Sanctum. I had my troops outside, not just like running interference, but trying to provide distractions for anyone that was looking around the map. But while we were all on voice, I had the idea that, with one of the rules being that you have to have your territory touching the land that the Sanctum is on. They had only had one flag touching it. So me and a few of the other guys started to make a push towards it to take out their one access point. And as soon as they realized what was happening, they started to back down really quickly.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Say you're sorry. Oh, maybe I'll leave. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
In the end, while we did use force to take the Sanctum, we did also use diplomacy to negotiate a deal with Zeus that we could share the Sanctum and have peace. So I think it's really cool that in a game like this, that they do still leave that route of diplomacy for you. Even if whoever you're facing is from a different country, speaks a different language, grew up with a completely different background than what you've had. You know, you can still work things out. And they provide you all the tools to be able to do that. So, this is just another reason why I've been loving this game, and honestly still haven't been able to put it down since a few days before that first video I put out.